Okay, one of the lessons that we had this week that students kind of struggled with was rounding decimals on a number line. So I'm going to start with just a basic example of, or just review of the number line, because we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, so they should have this part down. And I'm going to make it really simple. I'm just going to use 1 for the ones place, 10 for the tenths place, 100, 1,000, the thousandths place, and we go to the millions place in the 5th grade. And then on the other side of the decimal is the tenths place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place. And we go to the thousandths place in the 5th grade. So let's take the number 27 and 43 hundredths. So on the place value chart, we would have a 7 in the ones place, a 2 in the tens place, a 4 in the tenths place, and a 3 in the hundredths place. So let's take that same number, and we're going to look at it on a number line. 27 and 43 hundredths. Now, in class, before we went to the number line, we learned just the basic way of rounding. I'm sure you learned in a really similar way. If we were going to round to the nearest tenth, we would look for the target number. In this number, it would be the 4 because it's in the tenths place. And then we talked about, too, the nosy neighbor and how, and I had actually never heard that before this year, and how that number on the right-hand side of it would either, and we used 4 or below, keep it down low, 5 or above, give it a shove. So, of course, we already know if we're just using that rule that 3 is 4 or below, so we're going to keep it down low. So it should be 27 and 4 tenths. And then a lot of kids want to put that 0 in the hundredths place, and that's okay too. I try to encourage them to just leave it at 4 tenths because we don't have any hundredths, but it doesn't matter either way. So they should already know that it's going to be 27 and 4 tenths because it's either going to be 27 and 4 tenths or it's going to bump up to 27 and 5 tenths. But what we want to encourage them to do is to understand the why of it and not just use a trick. So we use a number line to show them why it would actually be that way. So we know it's either going to be 27 and 4 tenths or it's going to go up to 27 and 5 tenths. So the first thing they had to figure out was what's going to go on each side. So it would be what it's going to round to one way or the other. And then you have something in the middle, and we're using the base 10 system, so we should have 10 tick marks, starting with that first one being 1, 2, 3, 1, oh, I'm sorry, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they'll have 4 tick marks in between the first one and the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you were just on a regular number line, this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle, of course, and then 10. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10th tick mark. So the next thing on the number line would be 27 and 41 hundredths. Because we technically have a 0. Now, I would encourage them to go ahead and put it there because that tells us that we have 40 hundredths or 4 tenths is the same thing. If you have 10 hundredths, then that's going to bump it up to a tenth. So this would be 27 and 40 hundredths or 4 tenths. So then we could put 27 and 41 hundredths, 41 hundredths. And then this would be 27. And we kind of zigzagged on our number line because we didn't have a lot of room. Because we're working with not big numbers, but a lot of digits. 27 and 42 hundredths. 27 and 43 hundredths. This would be 27 and 44 hundredths, and then the middle almost always ends in a 5, 27 and 45 hundredths. Because if we had 5 more hundredths, it's going to give us another tenth. Then 27 and 46 hundredths, 27 and 47 hundredths, 27 and 48 hundredths, 27 and 49 hundredths, and then remember that I told you if we had one more hundredth right there, it's going to bump it up to another tenth, and bam, there we go. We have 27 and 5 hundredths. So if we located this number on the number line, 27 and 43 hundredths, sometimes it's going to be right on that number line, and sometimes it's not. In this one, it is 27 and 43 hundredths. Remember, this was 41, 42, 43. So there it is. 27 and 43 hundredths is right on the number line. So is it closer to this, 27 and 40 hundredths, or is it closer to 27 and 50 hundredths, or 5 tenths? And of course, it's closer to this one. So I'm just going to circle that one. That's what we would round it to. And some students struggle kind of with the whole number too, which should be easier if we were going to take that same number, 27 and 43 hundredths, and we wanted to round it to the nearest whole number. It's either going to be 27 or it's going to bump up to 28. So let's put our 4 tick marks in the middle, because it's going to give us a total of 10. So this is the same as 27.0 and 28.0, or 0 tenths. We could put another 0 in the hundredths if we wanted to, but we really don't need to. We're going to round to, this is the target number, 7. So since this number is 27, the first number is 27 and 0 tenths, the next number would be 27 and 1 tenth, and then 27 and 2 tenths. I like to make this one a little bit bigger so I know that I'm at my halfway mark. 27 and 3 tenths, 27 and 4 tenths, 27 and 5 tenths, which is the halfway mark, 27 and 6 tenths, 27 and 7 tenths, 27 and 8 tenths, and then 27 and 9 tenths, because remember, if you had one more tenth, then you're going to have another whole. It's going to be 28. So we're looking for 27 and 43 hundredths. This is an example of one that's not quite on a tick mark. Now you could put tick marks in between 4 tenths and 5 tenths, and some students want to do that, or you could just kind of figure out where it would be. If I were just going to figure out about where it would be, I would look between 27 right here, 27 and 4 tenths, and 27 and 5 tenths. It would be in between there, and we know that that halfway mark is going to be 27.45. That would be like right here. So if we could put tick marks on either side, but it should be right before the 27.45. So 27 and 43 hundredths would be about right here. And here's our halfway mark right here. So we know that it's on this side, and it's closer to 27. So our answer for, would it round to 27 or 28? It would round to 27 as the nearest whole number. And that's it. Hope that helped.